Hi, my wonderful crochet friends. My name is Ashley with Posh DIY Crochet Patterns. Today's tutorial, we will learn how to make this really neat looking 4-leaf clover. When I designed this, I definitely wanted to make something really unique and really different. In the middle here, we have the Star Puff Jasmine stitch. And then around the edges here, we created these nice big shells. And with our nice little stem here. And we also have, this is called a chain spool. And you can purchase this in the craft department in your local store or online. And you can decide what length you want for your necklace. So you can create this pattern for either a keychain or a necklace or let's see, you can hang it in your car on your rear view mirror for a nice little decoration. So I have two here. This one here I made with a 5mm crochet hook, and this one here I made with a 4.25mm crochet hook. You can use a variety of different yarns. This here is Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn in Jelly Bean Green. You can also make these smaller. You can choose a fingering weight yarn or a very, very thin #1 weight yarn and have a smaller one for a keychain. For our materials, we will need a crochet hook, and I would choose a size that is just slightly smaller for your size yarn weight. I'm going to use a 5mm crochet hook for this yarn today, for this tutorial. And this is I Love This Yarn in Jelly Bean Green. I will be using a doll needle, or you can use a regular yarn needle to weave in your ends, but I will use a doll needle, a pair of scissors, and to make it into a necklace or a rear view mirror hanger, you will need any size of a chain spool. And this is just a pack that I got at my local Walmart in the craft department. And inside this chain spool came with the clasp. And all you need is just one. And I will show you how that works later on in the video. And I'm going to keep a little bit of a tail just so I can weave in my ends easily. I'm going to stretch up this first chain a bit and make a chain. And I will chain 2 more for a total of 3 chains. But I definitely want this very first chain to be a little big. To begin, we will stretch up our loop quite high. We will wrap our yarn around our hook. We are going to dip into that first chain. I'm going to yarn over and pull that up and stretch it up nice and high. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Back into that same chain. Yarn over, pull it through and stretch it up. 1 more time. I'm just going to pinch right here. Now what we will need to do next, since we have all these loops on our hook, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over, And we are going to pinch right here. We're going to pinch that. We're going to pull that through all 7 loops on our hook. And I need to continue to pinch this loop here I created. We will go back in here to that loop I created. We will grab the yarn by yarning over, pulling it through. We can tighten all this down if we would like. So now we kind of have like this puff stitch going. We have 2 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through and make a single crochet. And that is our first puff. We're going to stretch our loop up high. We're going to yarn over. We are going to go into that single crochet that we just created. So we will repeat this puff in this single crochet. So we'll yarn over, going into that single crochet, yarn over, pull it through and up. We will do this 2 more times in that same single crochet. So we are creating puffs here. Now I need to go back into that first single crochet that I made my first puff in. So I need a pinch right here, right under that slip knot. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into that very first chain and make another puff. We're stretching it up high. Going back into that same chain. We will do this 1 more time in that same first chain. Yarn over and pull it through and up. So now we have a set of 2 puff stitches. We are going to scrunch them together like this. We are going to pinch. You can either pinch or you can hold your finger right here and you can grab that yarn and squeeze it through and pull it through all of those loops of those 2 puff stitches. You will dip back down into that loop you created. And you can do a little tug just to tighten it up a bit. So we have 2 loops on our hook. We will yarn over and pull through for a single crochet. So we technically just did 2 sets of puff stitches. This one here and these 2 here. So we've done 2 sets. These 2 puff stitches that we just made in one set, we will repeat this process for a total of 5 more times. So we will need to repeat, pulling this loop up high, yarning over, going into that single crochet, and creating that puff. So we made a total of 7 sets of puff stitches. And what helps to find out if you did it correctly, if you look along the edges here, you will see these puff stitches that surround the star like a circle. You'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What we will do now, we will slip stitch join right here in the hole where we began this first puff on the edge here. So we will skip over all of this and go right there and slip stitch join. And if you look, we have this nice little star puff in the center. Now we will begin our shells. We will chain 2. And in the same stitch here, the same hole, we are going to make 5 tall double crochets and a chain 1 and another 5 tall double crochets, all in the same chain. So we will just stretch it up and make our double crochets. I have 5 tall double crochets. I will chain 1 and make 5 more in that same hole. So we have a nice big shell here, which will be one of our leaves for our clover. We will chain 2. We will look here for our top chains. So we have a chain right here and a chain right here. In this very next chain here, we will make 1 slip stitch. We will skip this stitch right here. We will skip this one and we will slip stitch into the next chain. Skip this one and slip stitch into that next chain. And I'm going to pull that tight. We will repeat chain 2 and I will make 5 tall double crochets, chain 1 and 5 tall double crochets in that same chain. chain 2. I will slip stitch into that next chain. I will skip this chain, skip one chain, and slip stitch into the next. And pull that tight. And repeat. Chain 2. My chain's just slightly hidden. It's right here. I will slip stitch join. I will skip the next chain and slip stitch into the next. And tighten down. I will slip stitch into the very next chain. And now we have 2 chains left. We will skip the next chain and slip stitch into that very last chain. We'll pull it tight. And now it is time to make our stem. And if you would like to make the exact stem that I made, we will chain 7. We will turn In our second chain from our hook, we will insert our hook into that second chain, and we will make one extended single crochet. So we will yarn over and pull that through. We have 2 loops on our hook. We will yarn over and pull through only 1 loop. We will yarn over and pull through both loops. In that same chain, we will go back into the same chain and make 1 single crochet. In each of the rest of our chains here, we will make 1 single crochet in each chain. I will make 1 more single crochet. Sometimes it kind of wants to curl on you, but it's okay. We got it. Into that same chain there, we'll make 1 single crochet. Pull the loop up, and here's our nice little stem. The yarn I'm using is a very, very soft yarn. If I was to use a tougher, thicker number 4 weight yarn, then this here wouldn't have curved. But because of this type of yarn, it likes to curl. So now we need to cut our yarn tails. And we need a long enough yarn tail to weave in our ends. And I like to use these. These are doll needles from Hello Hobby. I got these really cheap at a local Walmart. And I like to use my little threader here that I made. It's just a little wire that I folded in half and twisted. But a regular yarn needle will do just fine. So I'm weaving in the yarn end that began in the very beginning when we first made our jasmine puff stitch. So I'm just going to pull it a little tight. And I'm going to go in a circle through these puff stitches here. I'm going to pull this yarn tail through. I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to thread this yarn tail here. I'm going to go through the top here and out the other side. And I want to connect it right here. I'm going to go back through these threads and out the other side here. I'm going to connect it right here in that first chain when we made those first 3 chains in the beginning. And you can do yours however you would like. Now I'm on the back of the 4-leaf clover. I'm going to leave a loop here. I'm going to swing around and go in from the back. And this will help to create a knot. Now we have our nice 4-leaf clover. And if you would like to hang a chain spool, you can. You can either hang it this way, you can hang it right here in your chain ones, or on this side. All you need to do is choose the length that you would like for your chain spool. And they come with these little clasps here. And sometimes I have a hard time getting these little balls to latch into these little things, and I think it's because of my nails. There we go. So I have one side latched. Now I will choose where I want to hang and connect my chain spool. Then I will grab the other end and attach. And there we go. Now I have a nice little necklace charm. You can wear these as actual necklaces for a little fun party time, or you can hang them on your rear view mirror. You can give them away as gifts. You can make these to sell at your local craft fair. You can do all sorts of fun things with these neat little 4-leaf clovers. I hope you enjoyed my video today, and I hope you learned something today. And I will see you all very, very soon. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you all. Bye-bye.